The supreme leader of Iran, Saeed Ali Hosseini Khamenei, is on the verge of starting World War III, yet sources also say that he is in bad health. He reportedly said if by any chance World War III happens, Iran is ready to negotiate with anyone but the United States. Stick till the end of the video to find out more about Saeed Ali Hosseini and his views on World War III. So, without further ado, let's get straight into this. Saeed Ali Hosseini Khamenei is Iran's second and current supreme leader, having taken office in 1989. From 1981 to 1989, he served as Iran's third president. Khamenei is the Middle East's longest-serving head of state and the second longest-serving Iranian leader of the last century, after Shah Mohammad Reza Pahlavi. As supreme leader, Khamenei wields the most political power in the Islamic Republic. He is the head of state of Iran, the commander-in-chief of its armed forces, and has the authority to issue decrees and make final decisions on the government's main policies in many fields, including the economy, the environment, foreign policy, and national planning. According to Karim Sajjadpour, as supreme leader, Khamenei has either direct or indirect control over the executive, legislative, and judicial branches of government, as well as the military and media. In his first sermon in Tehran since 2012, Iran's supreme leader Ali Khamenei vowed to negotiate with anyone except the enemy US, calling the missile strikes against America a slap in the face. Mr. Khamenei, the country's top leader since 1989 and the final say on all major decisions, is backing the elite Revolutionary Guards after their belated admission that they had downed an airliner in error sparked days of rage on the streets. However, the supreme leader also stated that the United States should leave the region and that President Donald Trump was a clown who would push a poisonous dagger into the nation's back by pretending to care about Iranians. Mr. Trump, who withdrew the US from a nuclear deal with Iran in 2018 and began the latest escalation that briefly resulted in open conflict this month, had tweeted support for protesters in both English and Persian. The Ukrainian passenger plane was shot down on January 8 in the tense hours following Iran's launch of missiles at US targets in Iraq, in response to a January 3 US drone strike that killed powerful Iranian general Qasem Soleimani, who was close to Khamenei. Protests against Iran's rulers quickly turned into vigils for the 176 victims. "Death to Khamenei" was chanted at protests and spray-painted on Tehran and other cities' walls. In Iran, such public criticism can result in a prison sentence. Mr. Khamenei stated during his speech that Iran had cooperated beyond expectations with countries whose citizens were killed in the Ukrainian plane crash. He said that millions of Iranians and thousands of Iraqis mourned Soleimani, and that the day Iran retaliated by attacking US targets in Iraq was a day of God. The supreme leader said Iran's ability to slap the face of an arrogant power demonstrated that God supported them. He then declared that American clowns who claimed to support Iranians were lying and vowed to negotiate with anyone but the US. The Ukrainian plane crash was a tragic, very sad incident. Mr. Khamenei went on to say that the plane crash protests were meant to overshadow the assassination of Soleimani, and enemies of Iran used the plane crash to weaken Iran's Revolutionary Guards. There was also harsh criticism of European powers for igniting nuclear conflict. The supreme leader said that the three European parties involved in the nuclear deal couldn't be trusted. He claimed that France, the United Kingdom, and Germany were serving US interests. "Iron hands of European negotiators are hidden beneath velvet gloves," he added. He also stated that Iran was open to talks with anyone except the US. Mr. Khamenei stated through an Arabic translator that the US attempts to divide Iraq and spark a civil war. He called Iran's retaliatory missile attack on US troops in Iraq earlier this month a blow to America's image as a superpower. Since President Trump withdrew the US from Iran's 2015 nuclear deal with world powers, which imposed restrictions on its nuclear program in exchange for lifting international sanctions, tensions between the two countries have steadily risen. Since then, the United States has imposed crippling sanctions on Iran, including its vital oil and gas industry, plunging the country into an economic crisis that sparked several waves of sporadic leaderless protests. Mr. Trump had openly supported the protesters, even tweeting in Farsi, hoping that the protests and sanctions would result in a fundamental change in a longtime adversary. After Mr. Soleimani was killed in a U.S. airstrike in Baghdad, Iran declared that the nuclear agreement's limitations would no longer bind it. A source close to Iran's Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei denied on social media that the 81-year-old's health was deteriorating. By the grace of God and with the good prayers of devotees, Ayatollah Khamenei is in good health and is busy vigorously carrying out his plans according to his routine, the official Mehdi Fazili said on Twitter. Fazili worked in an office that published Khamenei's work. Fars, Iran's semi-official news agency, also picked up his tweet. The statement about Khamenei's health appeared to respond to reports by several news organizations that referred to a tweet by an Arabic journalist claiming that Khamenei had delegated authority to his son due to his poor health. Since 1989, Khamenei has been the supreme leader, with the final say on all state matters. For years, people have speculated about his health. We are aware of these rumors and regard them as rumors only, a security official in Israel, which closely monitors events in its adversary Iran, told Reuters. The Tehran Stock Exchange's index fell 10,000 points or about 0.7% consequently. The decline was blamed on a rumor widely circulated on social media, according to the state news agency IRNA, without providing further details. However, websites like bultannews.com reported that the market was reacting to rumors about Khamenei's health. Iran's supreme leader insisted on Tuesday that negotiations over Tehran's shattered nuclear deal were proceeding properly, despite repeated statements by American officials that an agreement to restore the accord may not occur. During a meeting with hardline President Ebrahim Raisi's administration to mark the holy Muslim fasting month of Ramadan, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei expressed his support for their faithful and diligent efforts. However, resuming the agreement appears to be in doubt, owing to Iran's demand that America delist its paramilitary Revolutionary Guard as a terrorist organization. Khamenei praised the country's foreign minister and negotiating team, something he had grown tired of under President Hassan Rouhani's administration, who also attended the event Tuesday night in Tehran. There is nothing wrong with criticizing and commenting on the performance, as long as it is free of suspicion and pessimism and, as I have said many times, does not weaken the elements of the field and disappoint the people, Khamenei said, according to state-run IRNA. In the past, Khamenei and other officials have referred to the Guard and its Expeditionary Quds Force as the field. He said the West had been in a deadlock since then-President Donald Trump unilaterally exited the nuclear deal in 2018. So far, our negotiation team has resisted the other party's excessive demands, and that resistance will continue, God willing, Khamenei said. However, the United States lead negotiator Rob Malley has recently stated that a deal was not just around the corner and was not inevitable. Other American officials have said the same thing since the Vienna talks were put on pause a month ago. There has been no immediate indication that they will resume, despite Iranian media reports in recent days suggesting that a prisoner swap could result in billions of dollars in Iranian assets being unfrozen in South Korea. The U.S. State Department said on Tuesday that no agreements had been reached on either the prison swap or the nuclear agreement. Any reports to the contrary, including reports that Iranian funds held in restricted accounts in third countries will be transferred, are false, according to the State Department. Neither our partners nor the United States have authorized or approved any such transfer of restricted funds to Iran. The 2015 nuclear deal saw Iran store advanced centrifuges under the supervision of the International Atomic Energy Agency, while maintaining enrichment at 3.67% purity and a stockpile of only 300 kilograms. According to the IAEA, Iran's stockpile of all-enriched uranium was nearly 3,200 kilograms as of February 19. Some have been enriched to 60% purity, a short technical step from weapons-grade levels of 90%. Meanwhile, Iran has barred the IAEA from viewing footage from its surveillance cameras. Nuclear non-proliferation experts are concerned about this. While Iran claims its program is peaceful, the International Atomic Energy Agency or IAEA and Western governments claim Iran had an organized military nuclear program until the end of 2003. However, allowing Iran to sell its crude oil and natural gas on the global market may cause energy prices to fall. Because of Russia's war in Ukraine, Americans have been paying some of the highest gasoline prices in history. Meanwhile, Khamenei praised Palestinians for recent attacks on Israelis that killed and injured several people. These moves demonstrated that Palestine is alive despite US and its supporters' efforts, and through the current moves, the final victory will be with the Palestinian people, he said. Iran does not recognize Israel and backs anti-Israeli militant groups such as Hamas in Palestine and Hezbollah in Lebanon. In Yemen, where Iran backs Houthi rebels against regional rival Saudi Arabia, Khamenei urged the kingdom to end the conflict. During Ramadan, there had been a temporary truce in place. It looks like Mr. Khamenei is in good health and ready to negotiate any nuclear deals. The US-Iran relations aren't that good since the Russia-Ukraine conflict, but Khamenei is hopeful for a better world with only one supreme leader. That's all for today. Please leave a like on the video and share it with your friends and family. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next video.